Well, I've been a big fan of music since a really young age. That's where that's the beginning of it. I played music too, and I love. That's my favorite thing is music. So that's how it evolved into this. That's how I ended up doing this. I don't know how else to explain it. And I think Salt Lake was a good place for this. I think we need something like this here. That's why it worked so well here. And it's kind of just my own thing. In fact, my store looks a lot like my bedroom. CDs were fairly new back then, so that was the inspiration there. CDs were pretty new, and I actually opened a store that was called the CD Shop. That was before the Heavy Metal Shop. I opened my first store in '86. I was 24. And then I decided I wanted to just specialize in the heavier stuff. And a lot of people didn't, a lot of like the people I dealt with like my distributors and label people, they thought, oh, don't do that, that's a mistake. No, I think it'll be a good thing. So I just went with my own instincts. And it's worked out pretty good. I didn't read any books. I didn't go to school. Probably went to high school. I didn't go to college. And I was a meat department manager, so I did the ordering and took care of that. So that might have been some of it, and then just displaying things to make it look good. I don't know. I just kind of did it. I didn't really go to school for that. I don't know. And I've learned stuff too. I didn't just open the store, and it was, I've learned. It's kind of evolved into this. And, I still use the same counters and racks. I think I just looked in the phone book. That was my initial thing. That's what you had to do back then. We don't even have a phone book here now. Get on the internet, but and that's how a lot of places found me too. Because back then I had an ad in the phone book with my logo, and I remember a guy. This was the band The Mentors back in there. Sort of the late 80s, early 90s. That's how they found me. They'd go to the library and look in phone books. And they said, "That's cool." They saw my logo. They called me, and I, had a pretty good relationship with them. That's how they found me. Anyway, that's how I found the first distributor. It was a local distributor, and just got a lot of, got CDs from them. And then once my name was out there, I would get things in the mail, like import CD places. They would get a hold of me. Labels would too. And then when I switched over to heavy metal shop, a lot more got a hold of me. Marketing in New York, they got a hold of me, and they started a magazine, Foundations magazine. And then they posted a convention, a heavy metal convention every year. And they started in, I think, '88. So it was perfect. We started in '87, so they were kind of hosting this convention in Los Angeles. We would go down. We were one of the few stores that actually went to that. It was mostly bands and labels, and they would have. They'd have panels with band members. You'd run into all these band people. So you get to know them that way too. And they were aware of the heavy metal shop. And then when they'd come out tour, they'd come into the shop. Tom Mariah, from Slayer, he had a girlfriend at that convention. So he comes to Salt Lake with his girlfriend and says, "Oh, I met that guy." And they come in the store. And when he's not on tour too, he's coming in. And I remember it was on a Saturday. Store full of people back, it's like 1990. And, Tom's in there with his girlfriend, he bought stuff. And, in fact, I gave him a shirt on his way out. He said, "Yeah, wear that on your new album before Seasons came out." He goes, "Oh, you'll see it. So they leave. His kids come up. "Is that Tom Mariah?" I'm like, "Yeah, that was Tom Mariah." "Oh, man, we heard you calling Tom. We wanted to talk to him." A few months later, when Seasons came out, I got an order in. And I used to sell Kerrang! Magazines, the heavy metal order out, and pull the magazines out, and there's Slayer on the cover, and Tom's wearing that. So, no lie, he wore it. It started showing up in all the metal magazines, the poster and rip magazines. And then it showed up in some live video stuff, and some other bands were wearing, like Exodus, they wore my stuff, Alice in Chains, they still with me. And now it's kind of evolved to where that is our main thing. We still sell music, but we couldn't just make it on music anymore. Luckily, my clothing has worked out. And I didn't plan it that way. It just, like I said, it evolved. Somebody from JMR approached me to sell my clothing in JMR. And I was like, well, I'm sorry, I apologize, but that would make it uncool. He goes, well, I see it all over the place. I know you do really good. And I said, well, that would take away from the coolness. He was actually another customer. He was a customer from the CD shop, and he was more of a conservative kind of guy, and he did graphic design. And he told me, he says, if you ever need a logo for your shop, I'll do something. He's a really good customer. I asked him, I said, well, I'm going to change the name, Heavy Metal Shop. He was also one of those, oh, really? You're going to do that? So I said, I want you to draw something up and out the long way. And I said, well, that's cool, but it looks like Randy's records, which is great. I love Randy's records. But I said, we need skulls or blood or something. It's heavy metal, And this guy wasn't a metal guy. He was like, in fact, he was into jazz and new age. Anyway, he came back with the half skull. Great logo, you can see it. You know exactly what it is. It sticks out. Came back with that, and we actually traded a lot of the CDs that I needed to get rid of. Well, it's. I see a future with it because I think people are, a lot of these kids have never knew the old school way, so it's kind of cool to come in and buy a record. That's cool. So I think people are going back to that a little bit.